So today's theme for today's meditation is self-esteem. I receive a lot of requests for private meditation on this subject, on the subject of self-esteem. And I thought that I should address this issue publicly too. So I think that we all share this misconception what self-esteem actually is. We all believe that self-esteem is a shaped and formed something that resides inside of us, and something that is the result of all the past experiences that we've been through, of all the past traumas, all the past relationships, all the past opinions of other people about us, as if it is something fixed and shaped and formed inside us that needs to be addressed. And I think we don't truly understand that in reality self-esteem is nothing but a result of our present thinking, of a thought that we choose to think this very moment. That's it. Self-esteem is not connected or related in any way, shape or form with anything we've been through in our life. It's not connected to the past. And we see a lot of proof for that in many life scenarios. We can see people who were brought up in families where they were, they were loved and cherished, and parents would give them lots of compliments and love and everything. And regardless of that, these kids grow up and become people with very low self-esteem, people who feel that they do not deserve anything good in this life, and they feel this lack of self-love. And even regardless of their external achievements in their career or in anything else, they still don't feel confident, no matter what kind of parents they had, no matter what proof life shows them, regardless of how much money they have, regardless of how great their relationship with others are, regardless of all that, they still feel unloved, unconfident, and they feel that they have a low self-esteem. And vice versa, in families where kids were brought up by parents who had low self-esteem, for some reason, these kids sometimes can become adults with a very high self-esteem, despite the fact that they actually did not achieve anything in life. So we can see that our self-esteem is not truly connected to anything externally. It's not related to our upbringing or our external achievements. Truly, in fact, it is nothing but the thought that we choose consciously or unconsciously to think about ourselves. So we need to understand that self-esteem is a result of what we choose to think this very second. And only that affects our inner self, affects the way we feel inside ourselves and perceive ourselves. There is no formed self-esteem, no fixed self-esteem. It doesn't exist. So you see, our self-perception, the way we feel inside ourselves, is a construct, and by itself doesn't have any meaning. It is what we think it is. Our psyche is so malleable, so changeable. It can be transformed and changed depending on what kind of thought we choose to think. And our mind is just a tool that we've been given for self-expression. And our thoughts about ourselves is not actually what defines us. It affects us, our inner feeling and our choices and actions, but it doesn't define us. The thought by itself is not the truth. There is no truth in any thought. true or not true, positive or negative. There is no truth in any thought. It is just a choice. The truth is not in the thought, but in that which directs, controls, and changes the thought. This is who we truly are. This is where truth is. And the main thing that we need to understand is that we are free to change, direct, control our thoughts. That we can change the way we think, the way we perceive ourselves, the way we feel inside, and as a result of that, the way we act, behave in life. There is no self-esteem that is low or high. Self-esteem is a representation of the present thinking that we choose at this present moment. And it can be changed. Again, everything can be changed. We can change every thought to its opposite, and it will not be a lie. It will not be a self-deception. It will be the truth. And there is no need to look back and say, oh, but yesterday I did this or that, or I felt this or that, and that is the proof why I have low self-esteem. No, that was the truth, right, yesterday. Not now, not anymore. Right now, you are in a clean state. Right now, you are defined only by your choice of thinking at this very moment. So, you can choose any thought you wish. You can choose a thought that you have a very high self-esteem, and you will feel accordingly if you will believe in that. It will not be deception, it will not be a lie, it will be just a fact that you changed your thinking. And everything is our thinking. Everything is a thought. Everything that surrounds us is a thought. Everything that we see around us was first conceived in the mind, in the thought, and only then manifested in our visible reality. So we ourselves are nothing but a representation of what kind of thought we choose to think about ourselves this very moment. We are a reflection of what kind of thought we choose to represent. So the collection of thoughts we had yesterday reflected who we were yesterday. And what we think right now at this present moment will reflect who we are now in this present moment. Of course, if we keep choosing the same thoughts that we were thinking yesterday, now again, then we will be the same person that we were yesterday. But it doesn't have to be so. It's important to understand that our present thinking is not connected to our past thinking, and that our present is not connected to our past. So all those psychological stories that our childhood traumas affect us all our lives is not true. It is not true. Unless we decide to think that this is true, that this thought affects us, that this childhood trauma still affects us. If we believe so, if we decide so, then it does. But the second we choose to decide it doesn't. It's just our choice. We are the result, the consequence of what we choose to think right now. And we should free our minds from the false belief that the past has power over us. We need to realize that we are the designers of our thinking, that we are the creators of our mood, of our state of mind, of our thinking process. We are the creators of ourself, each new moment, every new second. That which we decided to choose to think yesterday is not connected to that which we decide to think right now. Past is non-existent. Past is past. And right now, in this present moment is the only real thing that we have. So we need to remember that we can change every thought that we have even to its polar opposite, and it will be true if we truly choose so, if we truly decide to believe so. If we truly choose so and decide to believe so, we will feel so, and we will act accordingly, we will behave accordingly, and we will be this person. We will be this thought. We will be a representation of this thought that we've chosen to think about ourselves. But what truly gives us confidence and so-called high self-esteem is even not this capability of ours to change our thoughts to even its polar opposites, which is of course possible and should be done for our own benefit and for the benefit of others. But it's not even this ability of our mind. And what will truly transform us radically from the inside once and forever is this understanding, this realization that we are free to think what we want to think, to choose what we want to think, to be what we want to be. We can change the way we perceive ourselves. We can change the way we express ourselves in this world. We can change ourselves. We have this power. We are free and not bound by anything externally. I hope this helps.